So before we even get into the details and on how the set works, I just wanted to tell you why the AirHogs Hyperactive's Adrenaline Series RC is by far probably the best RC that I have used. So let's get into the size of the body first. As you can see, it's not a mini RC. It's definitely not one of those small little portable cars that you can carry around. It is very easy to bring around with you anytime you want to go outside, but it's not small enough to put in your pocket or in your hand really easily. So it is, I would say, a mix between a mini and a medium-sized RC, somewhere in between. But although its size isn't the biggest, it can definitely perform extremely well. And besides the size, the car even comes with working suspension. For, you know, a decently small size, the suspension is actually very useful in case you're driving outside, and it works very well. And like I said, when driving outside, things don't always go your way. For instance, you could hit maybe a rock, if for say this was a rock, and the car so happens to flip over. Well, that's what the rollover ring is for, as I like to call it. What happens is, if your car flips over, you don't have to walk all the way there and pick it up. Just let your car use its momentum to flip it over. If you give it a light tap, that's what I still like, it just goes back to its regular position. For instance, you just push it back. But mainly, if you're driving, because this thing is so fast, it'll use its momentum to flick it over. Really simple, easy, and if it's not fast enough, it'll just bump itself right back, like the other two demonstrations. And at first, when I saw the RC, I was beginning to doubt that it could do half of the stuff it said. Only because I was dealing with RCs for such a long time. I have a lot of AirHogs and other companies, and most of their RCs this size can't perform at all. I mean, their turning isn't very good, and the vehicle itself can't drive very straight. But I mean, this RC itself works extremely well. As you can see right here, this is what makes the RC. As you can see, you have auto pairing. What auto pairing does is it targets out your car from an entire group or even playing by yourself individually. The remote can send a signal to your car and it won't mess up any other RCs around. So that's a really, really helpful feature for the car. You also have ultimate reception. Now, ultimate reception does work. I have tested it out. You could be standing anywhere and your RC would work. I went into my room, shut the doors, and what I got was my sister to stand outside in the hallway. I put the RC in the hallway and I started driving, and my sister would tell me where to go. Even with the door in the way, the RC performed really well. My sister told me that it drove straight, went left and right with ease. And you can definitely tell in the video of our demonstration that the car can make extremely sharp turns. So don't worry about those hard turns in case you ever get stuck in maybe like a branch or a wall is in your way. And you have precision responsiveness. Now what this is there is no delay whatsoever within your car. If you click forward, your car goes forward. If you click brakes, your car automatically stops. If you want to turn left or right, it will turn left or right. For instance, I'm just going to turn on the RC in the car, and I'm just going to show you the wheels. So right now, you can see my hand is right on. Even with the slightest click, you'll notice that the car is moving forward. And what's really nice about this car is, like I said, it has brakes. Just let the car go forward and push it forward once. Now what happens is, if you want to go backwards, you have to move the trigger forward. But you'll notice that I said that there was a precision responsiveness. You'll be like, shouldn't the car automatically move backwards? Well, the thing is, with this RC, it has brakes. When you first push it forward, the car responds to it as brakes, so it automatically stops. Let me show you one more time. If you pull the trigger back, you'll notice that the car is going to be moving forward. Right after that, you just push it forward, and you'll notice that the car's wheels automatically stop. So there are working brakes within the car, which is really cool. And last but not least, we have the extreme range. Now I haven't tested to see how far this can actually go out to without moving, but I have driven it around my cul-de-sac while sitting in front of my porch, and it still works. I mean, that is unbelievable. So, as you can see, it's not a very big RC, but this thing works extremely well. Everything that I'm talking about is not exaggeration. I mean everything word for word. This RC is by far probably the best RC I've used so far. So let's get into how to use the car. So now I wanted to show you a little bit about the RC and how it works. So it does come with an instruction manual. It's your simple, average, basic instruction manual. I didn't want to get into much detail with it, so I was just going to leave it in the box for now. I'll just show you how to use it myself. It's really easy, and first I wanted to get into the remote, or the pistol grip style remote. So right here you have the controls, or how to turn the car. If you notice, I'm going to turn the car on again, and you'll notice the wheels. So this knob will turn the wheels of the car. And if you listen really carefully, you hear a click. If you hear that click, that means that the wheels have turned. So it's very sturdy, and it is very easy to use, because once you hear that click, you know that your car has taken that right or left turn. And again, like I've said, this is the rollover ring. You just flip it over in case your car falls off. I don't recommend taking it off, but if you really don't like it, you can always unscrew the ring off. And like most RCs this size, it is a rechargeable car. Now, how you recharge your car is you have a charging station right inside your remote. Now, you'll notice here you have this black wire stringing right out of the remote. All you have to do is add a little pressure and just pull out the wire. Now, you can just let that sit, and if you take your RC, you'll see that there's this little latch, or kind of like a secure holding place, so that your charging station doesn't get ruined. It's like a protection case. You just pull it right off, and you notice right over the light, you'll have your charging station. You just take the charger and place it inside the car, and then you can start charging. Now the instructions say to turn on the car first, then turn on your remote to charge, and once the remote is on red, you just turn off your car, and then it'll begin to charge. And once it's done, you can just remove it, and you can place the remote on off, or if you're ready to ride, you can turn it on. And putting the wire back is very simple. You just give it a little tug, and you just wrap the wire all the way around and place it back into the holding place. It's really simple and very easy to use. And like I said before, you have interchangeable tires. all you have to do is remove the tire by adding a little bit of pressure. And you can take any other tire, for instance the indoor tire, just wrap it around the wheel, like so. You can do that for all 4 tires, and it's very simple, easy to put on, shouldn't take too much time. So right now I have the Hyperactives ready to run indoors. As you can see, I've placed on the indoor tires, and my sister Bernadette will be driving the Hyperactives car inside. Later on I'll be showing you personally myself driving the car outside. So in a couple of seconds we will have the car ready to drive. Just need to get a zoom out. So my sister is ready to drive. So right now I'm going to be demonstrating the outdoor use for the Hyperactives, but unfortunately there is a little bit of a storm, so guys, ignore the wind, ignore the loud thunder sounds, and just try to enjoy the video. Right now I have my Hyperactives ready to go. So as you can see, the Hyperactive is dealing very well with the weather, and you just saw it flip over. It can make some pretty nice turns. And right now it's actually on slow, believe it or not. Let me just kick it up high gear to fast. Watch it do some crazy spins. Oh, yeah, nice. So, as you can see, the Hyperactive's car works really well inside, and as you heard me before, there was a little bit of a storm running outside, and the car still performed very well. Indoors, outdoors, this car will satisfy you with your RC needs. So, as you can see, there's not much with the set, but the car performs really well. Like I mentioned before in the beginning, there's nothing wrong that I found with the car. It has working suspension, the on and off switch on the car down here, and on the remote. Really simple, easy to find, nothing much. And it does come with extra tires, indoor, outdoor. And this ring right here, at first I didn't like it, but I found it to be extremely useful. Don't recommend taking it off. The set is simple, easy to use, and probably by far the best AirHogs RC set I have ever used. I would recommend taking a look at the new Hyperactives Adrenaline Series AirHogs RC car. Thank you for watching.